Shut up and sit down.
Everybody, and welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me, as always, is my co-host, Jose Romero.
How are you doing, everybody? What's going on, Eric? Another beautiful Sunday morning here.
I know. A Sunday morning where I'm not with you. Disappointing, I know.
That's true.
We're back to our old setup. I'm in the land of peaches. I know, man. Listen, telling
Peaches
you
and
wrong
oranges.
to your face. Yeah, I mean, really, that is the Continental Breakfast of Champions, I think.
I'm as far as says champions, maybe like a runner-up continental breakfast.
Someone
You need a bagel for like a bagel at champions.
They're flirting with the idea of vegan, but haven't fully committed to it. It's a little bit like, maybe I'll do this forever, but I'm not really sure. That's what it is.
That's fair.
But we're back again for another week in recap of the nerdies of Nerd Nuggets and reviews and observations. And quite a week it has been, sir. Quite a week.
Yeah, well, you mentioned you saw Venom, which I talked about last week. You hadn't seen
Yes.
it. So just quick take on what you thought about it.
You were absolutely right. 90 minutes, hour and a half, super tight, brisk paced movie. To me, the movie felt like an 80s comic book where they would jam like a 6-issue storyline in one. Like, this is what you're getting. Boom. Get the fuck out. It's almost like, I think we were talking a little bit about this before we started recording. In Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, either with the Green Goblin or with Doc Ock, they fight the bad guy like 3 times before the final battle, or at least 2 times, and the third time is
twice.
the final battle.
Either way, but yeah.
So 2 times.
Multiple times at least. Yeah.
Multiple times, right. And for example, let's stick to sequels. Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man fights Doc Ock at the bank. Right. And then when he kidnaps Aunt May, that leads into the big train sequence.
Okay, yeah.
And then the big warehouse battle.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you look at Green Goblin, it was first at the day parade or life parade or something. The parade, and then the second time was when he fights J. Jonah Jameson and he gets knocked out. So it's a small little battle. There's that little runner-up battle, and then it doubles down into the bridge sequence fight. Well, technically, it doubles down into the kids on the ferry. And then it goes into the side island where they fight for the final time. So those are 3. So it's usually 2 to 3 battles. And in Let There Be Carnage, Venom and Carnage only fight once. And so they go all in. Like, they give you 3 fights in one. It is way over the top and awesome. I really liked how ridiculous the movie is.
Yeah,
It really is. Like, I just finished reading this massive Venom storyline in Marvel Comics called The King in Black, which recontextualized the entire Venom symbiote background and what they are and where they go for it kind of stuff. And he kind of alluded to it at the very end of the movie when he talked about we're part of a hive mind with 80 million years of. So I was like, oh shit, I think they're talking about what the King in Black eventually becomes, which is awesome. And this movie is none of that. Their version of Venom and Eddie dynamic is it's a lot more fun. It really is, but it's nothing like the comics. And I kind of like that in a way because I figured if you can't do Spider-Man, you have to make it different. And this is a good different. Like, it could have been crappy different. They could have made it like almost like an addiction kind of situation, and they just made it more like a young lesbian couple that's learning to live with each other because they rushed into a marriage too fast. That's what it feels like. And it works. Like, that dynamic, if you see it that way, it's brilliant. Especially when they start bragging like, look, they're not in sync.
We are, yeah, I know.
Like, I was like, I think I've heard that conversation on South Beach like 7 times. So I think I know what I'm talking about.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, I mean, overall, super fun. And you know what? I do think they gave Woody Harrelson enough to do. You felt like there should have been more Woody Harrelson. And don't get me wrong, more Woody Harrelson, always a good thing.
It's always, yes, exactly. You can't go wrong with more of that.
No, you absolutely can't. But for what they gave, what the movie was, especially at 90 minutes, I feel like Woody Harrelson got a good amount of it. I do have one complaint.
Okay.
Well, I have many complaints about a lot of things, but for this movie specifically, I have one complaint. I felt like they made Shriek try to be too much of a Harley Quinn to his Joker.
Yeah, I could see that. That's not. Yes, that's
You know,
fair.
like
Yeah,
she had the potential to be her,
yeah,
especially like from the. And I mean, there is a relationship between the two in the comics, but they really leaned into that Harley Quinn high pitchy voice, kind of, like. And I was like, all right, I get it. And because of that, her turn at the very end was like, no, baby, you've gone too far. Like, he just made himself a lot. Like, that's
yeah.
not going too far. Like, there should have been, like, when Carnage tells him the next time she screams, I'm going to eat her. And then when she screamed, it's not that he said stop. Like, he, like, literally beat the shit out of her. And and Cletus Cassidy had to, like, fight back Carnage's rampage. And so when she in turn went back at him, it would have been more of that would have been a better ground for that moment break, instead of like her developing some kind of conscience after killing a cop.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
That was the one thing. Like I told you, like I felt like this movie was very tightly made at a very specific point, because they said if we do 2 hours and make multiple fights, the CG quality will go down. So we got to just double down on one big fight and make it immediate. And you said you believe there's a 2-hour movie in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's longer than 90 minutes for sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
And again, it's 90 minutes for a reason. Maybe the stuff that's too much. Sometimes the movie has too much. We talk about it all the time. There's too much in the convoluted. They felt like this is a weird movie, kind of, in the sense that it's the tone, and just keep it short, dude. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is. There's no reason to drag it out, which I get. I'm fine with it. It's just a fun flick, whatever. It's not a deep superhero film like we've seen other, and that's okay.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm speaking of short flicks, long flicks. I think it was a scene in the trailer that wasn't in the movie where Shriek is in her jail cell and she's screaming, but like she's trapped, so she can't
remember that. It's possible, but like I said, a lot of trailers show us stuff that's not in the film.
Yeah,
even Marvel's done that several times. So whatever.
Maybe that was the scene where she read the Bible and it was a verse about like when your boyfriend turns into a demon, that is when Jesus says it is too much. She's like, so seeing him go to Carnage, she was like, baby, this is a little bit too much. Like maybe that's it. And so that scream was her getting mad at the Bible for letting her like preemptively learn a lesson that it would come back to. Like that's the only way this movie's longer, which makes it 95 minutes.
The extra 5 minutes. I'm sure it's maybe 145, but look, whatever. It was fun, and it did very well. Yeah, it did very well. Yeah. Surprisingly well, more than a lot of pundits thought the movie was going to make up predictions. The box office, it scored huge.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
Right now, Andy Serkis is the fucking man.
Andy Serkis, he's living the high life. He's eating well.
He's eating well. Andy Serkis is this dude who was in the movie industry, and I everything he's done, he's been lucky enough to be in these really cutting edge projects. But everything he's done, he's not only given all of himself to the thing to make the best performance or contribution possible, but he's absorbed a lot of shit too. To see, like, I mean, think about it. If on a strictly you are who you hang out with basis, imagine what he took in from Peter Jackson and from I'm drawing a blank on it. The guy who directed Black Panther and Fruitvale Station and Coogler. Yeah, Ryan Coogler. Imagine just hanging out with those two guys and absorbing what they put into movies and how they see things, how to make a crew work together, and bringing that to Venom too. I feel like that's what the reason why it's so good is he just took those elements. He's like, you could do it profoundly or you could do it specifically, but here are 2 ways to do it. And then you can find that middle ground depending on your budget or time of development, and brought that together. And I think that's why the movie plays so well, because the movie's weird and the movie should feel like it drops off at like 3 different times, and it doesn't. It keeps you. I was like that trick of editing and key shots, fantastic. And it's funny to think that Venom essentially is what would Donald Trump be if he was good.
Okay.
Think about it. I'm not going to help anybody. Fuck them. You're on my own. You were mean to me, but you're so big and strong. And everyone knows you're the only one who's the coolest. Okay, I'll help. It's Donald Trump's ego on a person who generally wants to do good, but you got to stroke him a little bit before they get there. So that's essentially who Venom is. So many people already refer to him as a pile of goo. If he was just black with teeth, he would be something.
That's a fair point.
You're saying.
Go figure.
Yeah.
When you hear we combine Trump and Venom, I love it.
Listen, only this show does it because we don't give an F about anything.
But yeah, kudos to Andy Serkis who did a good job. I didn't love them, but it was fine. It was good.
Yeah, end credit scene, super fun.
Super fun. Yeah, which we broke down last week and all that. So setting up a bunch of possibilities.
I will say, seeing the J. Jonah Jameson moment with the Spider-Man, he does say, "Ooh, he looks and he licks the screen."
Did he say that? Yeah, I thought he said something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And he never said what. There was a rumor he said he looks tasty. Others said he looks interesting, but they just say he looks and he licks the screen. Okay. So whatever that means, that's what he said. I was kind of hoping because I figured if he looked tasty, they would double down on like the villainary aspect of it, which kind of like in the movie where. When he has that profound, almost quasi-emotional breakthrough with Cletus Cassidy, he was like, I just wanted to be your friend. And then Venom's like, fuck this guy. Hits his head up.
That was the best.
That was great. That
was great. So, but yeah, kudos to him. Kudos to him. Listen, any Serkis, good job. You're making a ton of money. That's the bottom line, right? So this studio cares about. That being said, that wasn't the only thing he was in the news for. We have more.
Part of our
Serkis talk. Yes, we have interesting news here. And I say interesting, but potentially good news, who knows? But in an interview, obviously, he's promoting Venom, but they did ask him about the Batman. Of course, he plays Alfred in a version of Alfred, which is supposed to be pretty cool. Right. And ask him, he saw the cut of Batman, obviously, and he called it, quote unquote, a masterpiece. Now, listen, I brought this as a visual lady. This is a little salt here, right? Put a lot of grains of salt here for everyone to share, including yours, because it could very well be a masterpiece. However, what do you expect him to say, right? He's in the film. He's a company guy. He's not going to say this movie.
Exactly. It was just like he works. It was all his effort. Yeah.
Right. It was and you should say that. You should. I get it.
I feel like if they said, what do you think about Batman? It's a masterpiece. How would you compare Venom 2? Whatever.
Venom 2 is like the Citizen Kane of superhero film. Then you have, the Batman. Then a lot of this, a lot, but
and cocaine,
a lot of that too. But listen, maybe it is. Listen, we're gonna get the trailer soon, right? We got DC Fandom, which we'll probably do a show dedicated to that. And I think it's the 16th, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Which is coming up pretty soon. So we are gonna get the next trailer. We'll break that down. I'm sure we'll watch it 20 times, Eric 50 times.
Oh yeah, yes. If it's good,
why wouldn't you?
If it's good,
it's gonna be. It's a trailer. Well, I'm gonna say.
Look, the Suicide Squad 6 times in a month. 6 times.
Well, then there you
That's
go.
how much I liked it. It was really fun.
See the trailer. We'll break it down. But either way, his thought. Listen, maybe it's great. What's he gonna say? But I will say this, and I will throw this out, because I do know someone in Warner Brothers, right, deals in promotions and films. Which I get a lot of tickets. Okay. We talked about it because I'm going to go see Dune tomorrow, very early.
Nice.
So I'm going to go see it. So he hooked me up because I think the regular screening is in a few days, but I'm getting an early one.
All right.
But I asked him, he can't, can't say anything. But I asked him, hey, we bought this up by any Serkis. Hey, have you seen by chance? And he nodded, and I was like, and he just smiled, a good smile. I'm like, okay, so. Take that for what it is. Obviously, he's pretty good taste. He's not one to kind of blow smoke in my ass.
Right,
and, it's just me. He's not like he's talking to Variety or Hollywood Reporter.
Sure.
So, but he had that kind of smile. I was like, okay, so that's cool. So that's not all he's able to divulge. That's fine. I didn't push him because. So that got me excited. I trust that more. Smile. Yeah, I got that more excited than any Serkis saying, because any Serkis obviously is going to say that. So you listen. Let's see, man. I heard there's a screening of people like that. The studio was really happy with it already. So again, for whatever that's worth, we've heard that.
So are we saying this new studio's happy with its screening? Is this the most recent version of it, or is this supplementing the studio saw it and said it was too dark screening? Because I've heard
good question. I'm not sure, but it was the last screening. That probably could have been one change. I don't know, but that's what the trades talked about it. That's the rumors. But again. For what it's worth, we heard how many times have we heard the studio loves the film and it's not, or vice versa.
Right.
Whatever. Listen, we're getting a trailer soon. We're gonna break it down. I'm super excited because I'm so looking forward to this.
I thought that first trailer was fucking fantastic.
It was great. Yeah, with minimal footage, 25%.
With 25% of the movie done, they did that. I was like, God damn it, this is gonna be good. Like
No, it looked great. I mean, I can't wait to see his next trailer. I mean, I can't wait to talk about it. So yeah, we'll definitely break it down. Like I said, I think it's the 16th.
Did you hear the rumor that they're saying that there's going to be a Riddler spinoff on HBO Max because of this movie?
I've heard a bunch of stuff, but I mean, nothing's confirmed on that one. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I know they're doing that Gotham TV,
the Gotham PD,
the PD one, whatever,
right.
you know, with same world as this, so fine.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's
that one makes sense to me. The Riddler, that was a little bit of a random choice.
It's kind of right, yeah. Unless he's gonna appear now, maybe.
Yeah, which is that could work. That could work.
Exactly, that could work. So again, no, you know, we just know the Gotham PD, and that's about it, right? Matt Reeves involved in that in some capacity. But that being said, other news from movies that we probably won't be as excited for, and that is, of course, we got Transformers.
No,
which, you know, the director, you know, he came out and he, I think on Twitter or wherever else people they go to, he put a post on tweets about showing some of the pictures now of the vehicles, which I'm showing to you now. I know everybody can't see them, but I'm sure you saw the pictures of the cars, of the truck, and I think it's Bumblebee, Optimus Prime. I heard Wheeljack is supposed to be in it. Ironhide. Either way, a bunch of pictures on there. A couple of them, and I'm showing to you guys here. But it was cool to see the Optimus Prime, like Generation 1 look to Optimus Prime. That was cool. That
was the thing that was the most frustrating for me. The whole OG Transformers version, all the way into the Bumblebee dismount, is that they should have done Generation 1 from the get. Like, it just...
Correct, yes, agreed. But I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say they shouldn't do it. I mean, I didn't mind. I didn't care that he didn't look like it. I just, as a preference, when you grew up with this stuff, we're used to seeing Generation, right? That, you know, you ask me, let's do it that way.
You know what? You're right. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to look like the cartoon, but like 100%. It doesn't look 100% like the cartoon. Like, once again, we brought up a lot of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man today so far. But Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is not 100% the Spider-Man comic book design, but it is loyal enough to it that when you look at it and you look at the comic books, you can see how the two are related. Right. The Transformers look of Michael Bay, except for Optimus Prime, nobody looked like anything.
He totally deviated from
right.
Starscream, Bumblebee. Bumblebee was cool though. Let's I mean, that was cool. A cool choice of vehicle.
The choice of vehicle, I get it, but I do like the idea. But because like he never even got a voice, he got a radio box. Correct. I'm done with that. Yeah. Like it. I get it. Casey Kasem's dead, so it's hard to make him sound like that. I understand, but get a sympathetic voice to a dude, or make him sound. I don't know. Maybe it's a girl now. Who gives a shit? Make him sound like Bumblebee. Like, you know that Netflix trilogy series they just released.
Yeah.
Like, they make them look like that better, more towards that, and you'll have my money. So just take this.
Because listen, Transformers. I like the first one; it was fine, but the rest, let's be real. I mean, they're a disaster.
It says a lot when the first one is technically considered the best one and has a scene of Bumblebee peeing on a human.
Right, exactly, and then we had issues, right? But it was enjoyable for the most part. But the other ones, and the last couple are straight garbage. I know this one's gonna be the Beast Wars or whatever they call them, gonna be in there, and yada yada yada. The director is fairly new. I forgot who directed Bumblebee, but he stepped away. Either way, it doesn't matter. Bumblebee was actually pretty good. I did like Bumblebee.
Yeah, I was saying
very cool.
That Bumblebee movie
was really cool.
It was charming enough to get me re-engaged.
Exactly. So, all right, maybe it's a reboot or whatever. But this guy, he's only done Creed 2, which was good. Not quite as good as Ryan Coogler's Creed 1, but it is what it is. But so I don't know. I mean, you excited about that? Honestly, I mean, the pictures look cool for what they are, but I mean,
like, I mean, honestly, at this point right now, it is either I just need to get out of the house option for a movie.
Okay.
Or it is I'll wait until it comes out on streaming. That's where I'm at right now with that movie. Maybe as I get along and I see some of the trailers and something, I was like, wow, okay, that looks really cool. I might have to see that.
Trailers, to be fair, trailers always look pretty good. we knew it was gonna be shit, but the trailers look pretty cool for
sometimes
for the most part. I mean,
you
the last couple
get the feeling that
terrible,
those are all the best scenes of the movie, and everything
probably
else is going to be
but it's still. I
garbage.
mean, it's talking about the trailer itself. It's like it's a good trailer. You get excited. Okay, cool. But then you watch the movies, it's straight garbage. It's just
right.
It sucks.
Yes.
The last couple were just
yeah. When they started to go against their own canon for no goddamn reason, because they got to set up their own canon. I was like, how the fuck is this even
canon,
a thing?
Which wasn't really good canon to begin with, but yes, I mean, stick with it. Pick a lane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, sure. Like, listen, if you're already dying of heroin, why stop doing heroin?
Right. So you're all in at that point. It's like, all right.
They already cut off my arm. Why stop now? Toes, here I come.
Take out the other one. Let's go.
So it is. Yeah, I don't. It didn't make any sense to me. But like, if they're going to reinterpret the whole Transformers universe, either basing it more on the Bumblebee version of it or a whole new thing, just make him look like the generation. I want Wheeljack to have the things that light up when he talks on the side of his face. Yeah. I want Ironhide to sound like a good old boy that is not racist. Like, give me those versions of my characters, and you get more of money. I'll give you all the money. Get Matthew Willard to do Bumblebee because he did Shaggy, and that was also Casey Kasem voice. Yeah. So just bring in people that do a version of a thing. And let's show these dummies why we fell in love with something. And not like, you got to learn how to like it. Because we're not trying to introduce people to a lifestyle. We're trying to watch giant robots beat the shit out of each other. And it should be fun.
Absolutely. You're right. I hope it is. Let's see. Listen, I'm not excited about it. Whatever. I'll watch it because that's what we do. But I'm not looking forward to it. And speaking of things I'm not looking forward to, this leads us to my next story here.
Sure.
And of course, that is an announcement from Marvel Camp that they are developing a WandaVision spin-off starring Kathryn Hahn, who played Agatha Harkness. So the show is going to revolve around her. I guess a comedic kind of show. I don't know. And this falls in the category. Nobody asked for this, and honestly, who gives a fuck? I mean, and it says it's only in development. Doesn't mean it's going to get made. Make that perfectly clear, right? Development means a lot of things go into development and doesn't come to fruition. This could be one of them. Hopefully it is, because I mean, I'm not saying it can't be good. It just, really, the one character you're gonna do is Agatha Harkness. Out of all the characters there are that we haven't even seen yet, and I'm sure you know more about it than I do.
In a sense, you gotta give it up for this option alone. They already have the theme song. It was Agatha all along. Like, you have that as the intro to the show, and I'm in. Like, I'll tune in. It'll be the one show where it says skip intro. Like, no. Like, I'm going to want to listen to that all the goddamn time. It's a super fun song. But that being said, it is a bit of a, there's one thing where you're like, we have this great actor associated to a character that made it its own thing. What are we going to do with it? If you're not going to use them, you don't have to give them their own series. Just keep them there for a little bit. And then later on, push them out and make a thing with them. Like, I think that would be the smarter thing. Yeah,
but she could be involved in other projects. WandaVision is not going away, or in terms of Wanda character anyway, and Doctor Strange. I mean,
her own show about Doctor Strange. So,
but it's just her own show. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't want to see a prequel kind of thing, right? I don't want to see her back in the 60s. Who cares? And moving forward, I don't know. I don't know what her role in the MCU is, and maybe they come with something great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying right now. You ask me, I'm like, I'll pass. I'll watch it probably, but listen, right now you give me an option.
If you tell me, are you gonna watch Miss Marvel? Yes, I'll watch Miss Marvel. Let's be good. Are you gonna watch Moon Knight? Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch Moon Knight. As long as it doesn't drop the ball after the first episode, I'm in. Are you gonna watch Agatha Harkness? I'm like, well, it depends on the story.
Right.
And it's really, Now, maybe if the Agatha Harkness show, maybe works as like a WandaVision 1.5. Based on the events of the rumors that I've heard of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I could see that sweet spot. But there's a lot of Venn diagrams having to come in to find this place where Agatha works as a TV show.
Right. And it's weird because usually Marvel, we talked about it, Marvel plans this shit out for years in advance, right? So Kevin Feige does. That's why it works. This one seemed like just like a reactionary, decision based off maybe people like the character, fair enough, and they just, okay, let's make it. Is that really part of the plan? So now they're trying to put that as a square peg in a round hole kind of deal potentially. That's a concern.
I'll put it this way. Have you heard the quasi rumor, quasi confirmation? We've all heard the fact that that Echo is going to get her own TV show, right? We've all heard about that. Right. She's supposed to appear in Hawkeye, and that's going to lead into the Echo series. on Disney Plus.
Which was planned, though. Which is a planned thing.
Which was planned.
Right.
But the more we hear about it, the more rumors we're hearing now that Echo is essentially going to be Daredevil season 3.5 or Daredevil season 4, where they're going to bring all the people in from Netflix that made the Daredevil show that they want to keep, and they're going to have Echo, but Echo's going to be on the forefront, and the Daredevil cast is going to be the background, and the story is going to interweave because she was introduced in the pages of Daredevil, so it makes sense. Okay. They have a relationship. It makes sense. But there's like, if you miss Daredevil, you can watch Echo and kind of get your Daredevil fix. That's what the word on the street is for that. So maybe Agatha Harkness TV show is going to be their coverage for whatever's going to happen at the end of Doctor Strange. Maybe it's their version, like they're going to use that as a way to doing like a WandaVision 1.5 or WandaVision 2, where she's in the forefront, but it's stuff is in the background. There's things where maybe they were going to do this other story, but they said, oh, what if we do that story, but with this person, quote unquote, in the forefront, so it feels different, but it's actually this. I could kind of see that, because sometimes, like certain movies are unofficial sequels to other movies, but you only know it if you saw the first movie. I feel like this might be that kind of thing, where they were going to do like a WandaVision's Doctor Strange kind of spinoff, but they said, what if we do that, but we call it the Agatha Harkness show, but it's really this, and you're getting these two shows into it. If they're doing that, I think it's a good idea, but if it's straight her, nah, you're wrong.
Right, I agree. So let's see, but again, it's development. No one's greenlit it. It's not for sure, but I mean,
the only reason I'm not
out there.
You're right, and the only reason I'm not too hard on it is only because from what I heard they're doing with Echo, I'm like, this might be a thing they're doing now, where they'll put in a character that people have some sort of interest, but is not as widely known. But then you back in it with shit that people care about,
which makes
and then you have this.
That makes sense. We see that all the time. I think that's a good way of doing it, right? I really do. But again, Echo was the planned thing. They knew Echo was going to be in it. They knew plans. They had plans for Echo past Hawkeye, right? I get to just. Okay, people like her, or I got an idea, and let's do it. So it's just un-Marvel-like, right?
The only thing is that, you know how we've always heard rumors? Well, not always, but we've heard rumors that there's going to be a WandaVision 2. And then like, oh no, there's not going to be a WandaVision 2. And there's not going to be a WandaVision. And especially once I got rumors I've heard of Doctor Strange, it doesn't look like there's going to be a WandaVision 2 from what I heard. But if you do WandaVision 2 and you call it Agatha Harkness, and so you're back any of those two, now you got yourself a show that I'm like, okay. So you're just changing the forefront of it, but the core of the nugget is still there, which we've heard before. It kind of makes sense. And Marvel's done this before, or is doing this now. So to me, it sounds like an interesting way to kind of marry two projects together. You almost get the best of both worlds in a sense,
Right, but again, that's a what if scenario, if you will.
Right. Follow me.
But that being said, let's move on. Those were the nuggets for the week, right?
All right, so, nuggets. Good nuggets.
You mentioned what if, so you might as well just get into the three big shows of the week.
Big shows.
Big show, really big show. And this is the finale for What If, Disney Plus show that I think we've enjoyed for the most part.
Very much so.
Finale came in.
So much better than Bad Batch. So much better than Bad Batch.
A lot of things are better than Bad Batch.
Colonoscopies.
A lot of things.
Healthier and better.
That being said, we finally get the finale. This culmination of everything that they kind of built within the show, all the characters. Except for Gamora was weird. We saw her.
Right.
We never got her story. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Whatever.
Hey, that was part of the multiverse. It fell away. We never got.
It was kind of odd. Maybe the episode wasn't good, and just like, I don't know.
Well,
whatever.
I heard a rumor that something happens in that movie that kind of like almost like is a setup as a reveal to another movie that's coming out, maybe in Spider-Man No Way Home. So they back-ended it so you don't see that thing. That's what I heard.
Maybe, possible. So but either way, I always the version of Thor and
very much
Killmonger, obviously Captain Carter, they all come back here and all fighting Ultron, whatever the case is, or Vision, or I forgot what you called it last week. But that being said, so we thoughts on the show.
Ultra Visitron.
There you go. How you think?
Infinite Visitron.
How'd you think that it ended?
I really liked it, man. I thought it was super fun. I loved the first of all, the comedy, so fucking on point. Like, once again, Party Thor stealing every goddamn scene that he's in. It's just killing it. I love the fact that when you go to Peggy Carter, she's once again going through the experiences of what we saw in the Captain America film trilogy with very little deviation. I really like that. I don't know why, but I love just seeing her in the place of Captain America movies and doing her version of that. and it's different and the same, and it's not even that big of a change. And I'm like, yeah, I like this. Like, it's
It's
just
exactly the
fun.
same, which is what I wish it was different, but whatever. It's not
I
a core
enjoyed it.
element of the story, so it's not a big deal. That's why I'm
I
like,
know, I know.
whatever.
I
Yeah.
just liked it.
No, fair.
I like how everything except for the Gamora episode, everything
Weird.
paid off. In a way where you get nice little buttons and everything. There's been an issue addressed on many shows, including ours, that the What If episodes felt like they stopped 2/3 of the way to the story, and there was more story. And then this episode, they're like, yeah, there's clearly more story, guys. We just couldn't get to it. But that's what If is. You're seeing just a moment the universe change permanently, and then they're going to make their own shit. So we're not going to hang out with the whole guy that time. This is not called What If biography. This is called What If. It's just moments. Little key parts. That's all it is. And I really enjoyed it. I thought first of all, this is the episode to me that really showed you how powerful Sad Strange is.
Oh,
because
yes.
he was going head to head with Ultron with only the Time Stone, and he wasn't even using the Time Stone.
Right.
He was like, I'm gonna take the power of blowing the planet. I'm gonna eat it like a Pac-Man pill. Boom, and like he was channeling the thing. Like there was this moment where I think we talked about it the last episode where Infinivistron eats a universe and it just explodes. And I was like, oh, cool. I feel like that's going to be a setup for Galactus. In this episode, he turns giant like a Galactus. And you're like, oh my God, what is he going to do? And Doctor Strange turns into Shuma Gorath and just pulls him fucking down. I was like, holy shit.
That was cool. That was very good. Yeah.
Super cool. Once again, leading me to be excited about what's going to happen in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, because there's been 3 episodes where they've Shuma Gorath shit. So we're now used to tentacle monsters and Infinity Stone power levels. So give us that. Like, we're cool now. We've got it. You practice on the thing. I thought that every character brought in their great 2 cents. I love hearing Chadwick Boseman again. Like this guy.
Third time. I don't remember.
Fourth time.
Okay.
And the effort that this dude sounds relatable and sympathetic and charismatic with just the simplest of phrases. Like, God damn it, Chadwick Boseman was fun.
Yeah.
And it's such a bummer. I was a fan of the whole thing. I love how they brought back like the magical armor energy from the Doctor Strange episode. I would have loved to know more about the Stone Crusher. That seems interesting. But and they brought back Armanzola and they gave him comic accurate like belly face, like all that. Super excited. And I love that when Doctor Strange realized we're not supposed to stop the stones. We just can't. We have to get it pulled away from an owner and negate it. Then he built a pocket dimension around his pocket dimension, and the sacrifice is now to watch these 2 guys just struggle all the time. I would not be surprised for someone like Doctor Strange, who already has a time stone, to maybe figure out a way, because it's a pocket dimension, to cause both guys to die at the same time, or at least have their brains go offline for like a second, and then snatch all the stones and then kill them. Like, I feel like if he's got nothing but infinity to watch these 2 guys struggle, there's got to be a moment where he's like, with this time, he looks over 18 billion opportunities. And he goes, that one point where they both blink at the same time, that's when I get the stones. And I feel like he could totally do that. And once he gets the stones, he just get the one in the middle, because the Vision body still has the Mind Stone in his head.
Right.
So after that, you can kill Vision super easy. And maybe now with those stones in hand, he goes full dark side, and maybe he is somehow Doctor Strange from No Way Home, who's like a little extra cocky because he figures he's got a second chance. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe there's an opportunity about that. I don't 100% know for sure, but I like that setup where like there's a hint of like he could figure out a way to make things worse, but at most he'll just be a dude who watches over them because he's got nothing to do now.
Right. No, I agree. And it was a good act. It was a good fun episode. I like the ending too. Like, bringing Peggy Carter back into a universe, which not Peggy.
Widow?
Black Widow. I'm sorry. Yeah. Bringing her back.
I like that.
Bring her back to where that she's used to and all that. So that was cool. It was a nice little touch on there. I said overall it was well done. It's a good series. I assume they're gonna have another one of this. I don't know. They haven't said anything about a what if.
I heard this is
two.
season 2.
I heard,
yeah.
but I mean they haven't announced it. Usually like Loki's the only one that's confirmed, and they had it in the
Well,
end
remember
credit scene
they
that
also.
said coming soon. This one they haven't. I mean, it probably will come out. I'm just gonna have it made an official announcement that it is.
I think it's official in a sense where like right before they released What If, they made an announcement that Marvel bought the animation studio and made What If.
Studios.
So
right, we can
yeah.
assume that they are. I'm just saying as far as an
Right.
official from them, from their
Okay.
side.
Right.
From the horse's mouth, if you will. But listen,
Sure,
good show. It's entertaining, man. Obviously, just won't be talking about this anymore. But that's okay because, we can kick around Little Titans. I know.
Man, yeah.
The show
And
we love to hate here, right?
What if we shook hands? He goes, "It was great meeting. It was a lot of fun." And we look at the Titans, like, ugh, you.
I know. God, he left me with this. They throw a big party and they leave, and you have to clean up. It's basically what Titans is.
I know. And someone shat on the upper decker part of the toilet, like not even in the toilet. Real fucking assholes.
So that being said, we got episode 11, and listen, we've been liking it for the most part. The last 3 episodes, like we talked about, it got better after it stumbled.
Sure.
This one here, I wasn't a big fan of at all.
Stumble again.
Yeah,
Stumble again. Like they caught themselves, they turned into a jog, and then they fell face first into like a pie or some shit. Like
I mean, I was bored. I was really bored. And the end was cool. Obviously we got, I guess when he confronts Red Hood and, he gets shot, whatever, fine. We know he's not going to die or whatever. Or I'm sure the Lazarus pit comes into play with him.
I mean, they just discovered the Lazarus
right,
pit.
Of course, yeah, it was very convenient.
But out of all the people to figure out, fucking Beast Boy, really? Really? Not. There's going to be something where Dick has been trying to go, like, you know what, I think I know what happened. Like, it does not, no, it's just fucking Beast Boy, really? Okay,
yeah, cool. The whole thing's weird. It's convenient. The setting of the Deus Ex Machina with fine, whatever. Right. Okay, we got more Donna, which, I'm never going to complain getting more Donna.
No.
But yeah, the whole thing with Scarecrow was just weird. I don't know.
Wearing Bruce's clothes while like touching his things. I get that sort of like seeking a single white female kind of like vibe going on. Right. But the thing that surprised me is you've been fighting Batman for years. He's psychologically profiled you enough to be able to stop you and put you in Arkham. What part of does Batman have a file about me and let me get offended when I hear it? Like a little girl who's got Mean Girl, like, she said this about me? Like,
that's so unfetch.
Yeah, so unfetch. It is really just like I expected more out of you, which again is the problem of this series. I've always left going, you could have done better. You know how to do better. Why didn't you do better?
It was awkward. I mean, yeah, if all of a sudden he gets offended. It's just, he knows that already. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, now I'm getting offended. Now I'm going to have this complex about who I am. Really? Whatever, fine. It's annoying. It's just really annoying. Yeah. It just wasn't a good episode. It wasn't all. We got 2 left, and I have no hope. I'm hitting, I wasn't quite there yet, but I'm hitting Bad Batch level with this.
This series is getting close to end of Old Yeller. You're like, sorry, Doc. Go, Doc. Get away.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. And listen, this could end the great. I don't know. Whatever. I just, we know where this is going. Everything's really plotted out. We know, but
maybe they fell ass backwards into those first 3 episodes. Like, hey guys, I think we got something here. No, we don't.
They may have. I mean, who knows? I mean, whatever. I don't have any hope. We're gonna finish watching it, of course, and we'll talk about it. But
sure,
maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's great. Like, this is something about Batch, right? We're like, listen, if it ends really great, I'm all in, right? We're in the same boat here. Right.
Yeah. But you got 2 more episodes to do.
Yeah. If this ends like this, I'll probably won't watch season 3 or 4.
Yeah. There shouldn't even be a season 4, really.
I mean, I'm sure there. Let me not say that. I'm sure there will be. But whatever, people like this show, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Sure.
Different strokes, but yeah, it's just. I was like, whatever. I was really bored.
I know.
I was like,
I know. Yeah. That's it.
But before
if you're wondering,
well, go ahead.
There were that whole Starfire scene where she's looking at the oppressed people, like. Yeah. It's like fucking either beat somebody up or leave. Like, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe. Yeah.
I mean, that was interesting lore. I'll give them that much. Okay, we got a little more about the background. She's not the real queen or whatever. Fine.
A little bit.
But I mean, I don't know if it was the right episode to bring that up. But
that should have been like end of season to lead you into the next season.
Or do it early when she was having all those visions, and we could have told that episode 3 or 4 when it was really hit the shits. Whatever. Listen, but again, fortunately, like we talked about last week, we watched this, and then we cleansed the palate by watching a little bit of that Doom Patrol.
Oh
which is
man.
the solar opposite of what we get in
Oh
Titans,
man,
right?
it is
Episode
it
five,
is
right?
it,
Am I wrong?
it is it is it is a Michelin star sushi chef meal compared to a homeless person did on your toilet.
Yeah. Oh man, it's amazing the difference in quality between these shows, and this
The level of acting, it's of care of storytelling. It is
it's a
great.
different level than Titans and a lot of shows for that matter. But this is a good episode we have here. The introduction. Now we get more into the sisterhood of the with
Sister of Dada.
Dada, right? And they have to. I guess they were sent to confront them or whatever by I forget her name. I want to forget her name.
The fog. She was referred to
No,
as
no,
the fog.
well,
That's
no, the time
oh,
traveler.
Madame
There
Rose.
you go.
Madame
Thank you.
Rose.
Yes, yeah,
Right.
because she's the one that sends him out to do
Yes.
whatever. So, but yeah, we got some really good character moments. That wasn't that also overly exciting episode per se.
But it was entertaining.
It was
It was once
entertaining,
again
yeah, and it was a good
what
yeah,
the
and it
show
set up things well.
always does is psychologically deconstruct their characters
Right.
in a way that's engaging, thought provoking, sad, and exciting all at the same time. And it, from like that one dude who's like questioning Cyborg's sense of origin. Like,
Yeah,
are
like
you
who he
are
is.
you a
Yeah, yeah.
real black man in America who has to struggle, or are you a robot who gets a pass because people in power want you there? Like that was a really big fuck. Like holy shit, man. Or like I love the robot man talking in Japanese once they acknowledged that there was subtitles. So I was like, that's super fun, like
Yeah,
a
it was
play
cool.
on
Yeah.
words kind of situation like that. Like I mean, the whole series was really engaging, entertaining. I don't know how Mr. Negative's son showed up there. Like I thought that was kind of like, how did he? Why was it? But then he is part of
Yeah.
the Council of Department of Normal or something like that. So there's a lot of like what's it Venn diagramming about like how one thing connects to another, especially with the last dude became a were ass monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's still a lot of agents out in the open, if you will. So I mean, once again, pay attention to your own canon, keeping the story specific, bringing out new layers, and you don't have to have a huge fucking fight scene all the time to be entertaining.
Don't at all.
Just be interesting,
Yeah.
and this show shows you don't have to fight all the time and still be a good episode. If you're fucking interesting, people will give a shit.
Right, of course.
The whole
Great
talk
characters,
between the fog
funny.
and Crazy Jane in a candy shop talking about where your loyalty really should be was way more engaging than like half the season of Titans. Like it's really make people interesting and people will care.
Of course,
and
exactly.
That's the one thing Titan does. I mean, that's the one thing that Doom Patrol does. That Titans doesn't even know how to put those words in tar steam. Is it a trap? Is it a trap with tar in it?
It's a trap.
They're in the tar and they're turning their intestines. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's a trap. Like that's how Titans understand how to make words work. It's like just punch things and maybe it'll make sense.
Yeah, it's character development, right? It's
character development.
It's what carries anything.
Yeah,
a movie or show. It just does. And if you don't have it, you're gonna suffer in Titans. That's what happens with Titans, right? They just piece things along and they go. This show does the opposite, right? It doesn't rely on the visual, again, the big budget action scenes. This is really good character development. And it's ongoing. We've gotten 4 seasons of character development. That's hard to do.
Yeah,
that's really hard to do. 3 seasons.
And 90% of the sets are broken down on purpose. So you're having this really sort of like dirty, just trying to get by feel that is so much more compelling and heartbreaking and interesting on so many levels because these guys don't even want to be doing what they're doing, but they know they're the only ones who can do it, and they don't even have the resources to do it right. Like it's great, and it's such a like the only show. I keep saying this: the only show that's as good as Doom Patrol, that is literally the polar opposite, is Superman and Lois. And once again, what makes that show interesting is they use their special effects wisely, but they're making Superman interesting. I mean, most of the time it's because of like what it means to try to be a dad to 2 kids who are totally opposite and giving them their very unique set of issues, which I think is very you don't see those kind of dynamics really on most superhero TV shows. And I like that kind of family structure. Like even when Superman's like, man, am I doing the right thing? Like, yeah, that's what makes the show engaging. Everything else kind of gets caught on the what they think that we want to see versus just giving us something good.
Yeah, and kudos to them. I mean, this is such a great show. I think it's 13 episodes this year, which is great because we're far away from the ending. I can't wait.
I know.
And Titans only got 2 left, so
Even better.
Thank God.
Even better. Super excited about that.
Point, it's exhausting about the show.
It really is.
But that being said, Eric, we're done for today.
Oh, guys, that has been the show. It has been quite a journey because every time we go through Titans, I feel like it's 3 episodes of just being a bummer, and then we get on Doom Patrol. Like, oh, good. We can breathe
end
again.
on a high note.
So
always end on a high note.
We got to end on a high note. When we ended the show on Titans, I always felt bad for you and for the viewers. But now we're ending on Doom Patrol. It's like high fives all around, guys. We're making
good job, all right.
So that's it.
It.
Well, guys, this has been the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, really appreciate it when you watch it. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe. It helps out as well because the more people that watch this, the less time we have to do like real job shit. So we really appreciate doing this more often. And don't forget, if you're enjoying the show, you can listen to all the audio episodes on my website, ericdasilva.com, where you can still buy my album, Adorably Offensive. It is the holiday season is coming along. This is a great gift for someone who likes stand-up comedy, or if you hate somebody and want to offend them, even better gift to give to them. So, learn those lessons. But if you want to see all the YouTube episodes of Nerdsplaining, don't forget to check out the Latin Nerd News Network. You have all the episodes of YouTube Nerdsplaining there, including the watch list where Jose breaks down all the key TV shows that are coming out for the week, and he gets exclusive reviews of movies that have not even come out yet. Mainly Dune at this point.
Dune tomorrow and Halloween Kills the next day. So I got two big ones this week.
Oh my God, back to back, guys. So you can't. What are you doing? Get on that right now.
Yeah.
And as always, don't forget you can always check out at Nerdsplaining on Instagram, Nerdsplaining_ on Twitter. You can follow me at The Silva Comic on Instagram and Twitter, or ericdasilva.com, and check out all the stuff there. Don't forget Adorably Offensive. Jose, you have been awesome. Guys, you have been better. My name is Eric Silva. This has been Jose Romero. This has been Nerdsplaining. Peace. And if you don't know, now you know.